Welcome to Adam Does Movies Live. It's Tuesday. Going to be a fun one. A couple pieces of news before we get into it. Number one, I got a new haircut. My wife hates it. I had to look young and youthful for the kids and the audience because I'm going to be at MegaCon in just a few short days. Come this Friday, I'm there. I'm in Orlando, Florida. Meet and greets, hanging out with people in the community, hanging out with Sean Chandler, Cody Leach, and some other people I've never heard of, but I know those guys and they seem really cool. I've only talked to them online, but seeing them in person is going to be fun. And hopefully a few of you can make it as well. Maybe we'll get a bite to eat. I'm going to be on a few panels. Friday at, I think, 4, I'm going to be on a panel doing hot takes, which if you followed me at all, you know I've had a couple hot takes in this last year. Some I'm proud of, some not so much, based on the fallout of said hot takes. Saturday, I'll be doing it has the comic book movie space bubble burst. We'll go into details about all that. And then Sunday is a horror stream, a horror conversation, I guess, not a stream. That'd be weird. I don't know if these are being streamed, to be honest with you. I don't know how that works. But they're panels. You go to them. You see us up on the little stage and we talk in front of microphones, maybe have a civil debate discussion. It'll be a great time. Outside of that, TikTok is just absolutely where it is for me. Check out Adam Does Movies on TikTok. I'm doing exclusive content there now. I don't get to do skits or any sort of sketch-based stuff here anymore because YouTube hates me. But I'm trying it out on TikTok. So I have a new thing I'm doing. I'm trying to put one out a day. So far, I've done 3 in a row, 3 days in a row. I'm almost at a week, not even halfway to a week, but I'm getting there. They are 1 minute, minute and a half little sketches where I pretend I'm a realtor for a apartment or a house or a brothel or something from a Disney movie or any movie in general, basically. Like I'm trying to sell the Tangled Tower to a guest or the Beast Mansion from Beauty and the Beast. I think they're kind of fun. I think that it might fit the format of TikTok better and maybe I can capture some of the youth of today. If the haircut doesn't do it, the shtick will. All right, that's all I have about that. Super chats are always the name of the game on these streams. They were the livelihood last year on the channel, believe it or not. The videos themselves barely make shit for money. So these live streams, throwing a couple bucks in the mix and saying, hey, Adam, love what you're doing, keep it up. Or ask a question and I will answer it, movie related or otherwise. Usually there's a banner at the bottom, a ticker that reminds you, but I forgot to add it in. A topic that you could possibly ask, which is the topic of tonight's discussion, what you think the dumbest movie franchise is. Always caveats with my picks. I have 10 of them. It's a top 10 list. That's what we do on these live streams now. And what I'm going with are going to be non-horror films, non-scary movie properties, because that would fill up an entire cathedral with how many? From the Friday the 13th to the Halloweens to the Jeepers Creepers films to the Conjuring sidequels and prequels. There's just so much, and they're cheaper to make, so they can churn them out and just keep doing them until the ends of time. So I avoided horror altogether. And I think that's all I have to say. I'm gonna get right into it. I see no reason to beat around the bush. So in my number 10 spot, let me add it. Let me add it to the stage. And I should also say this. My caveat here is it has to be 3 movies or more. As we climb this list, the perpetrators are worse offenders when they have more movies in the franchise or when they continue to thrive and exist, even now today. So Divergent is at the number 10 because it's, for all intensive purposes, dead in the water. It was supposed to go 4 or 5 movies, but because the first 3 sucked so much ass, they didn't even get to finish them. At one point, there was rumors going around that it was going to be a TV show, and that was going to do the last movie or 2, but just nobody cared. They weren't going out to see this film. Shailene Woodley, whatever the hell her name is, just wasn't selling people on it, and I just don't think anyone cared. Not good. Not good is the bottom line. Oh no, are we having internet issues? Okay, I've been having internet bullshit going on from my cable provider. I could call them. Streaming is lagging. I noticed this with the last one. YouTube's having a hard time with it. All right, let me get on the horn and see if they're around. The funny part is my internet provider in South Carolina has set hours that you can call. What is my internet? Internet South Carolina. I forgot who I'm with. It's some weird rinky-dink operation. Home Telecom, that's who it is. Let's call them. 888-746-4482.
Calling Home Telecom. Thank you for calling Home Telecom. Our offices are currently closed. For after-hours customer service support, please press 1. For after-hours repairs, to pay your bill, press 1. To leave a message for a business sales representative, to return your call on the next business day, press 2. To leave a message for a residential customer service representative, to return your call on the next business day, press 3. If you have reached this menu by mistake, please press 4 to return. Thank you for calling Home Telecom customer service. Please leave a message after the tone.
Yeah, hi, this is Adam Olinger. I've had weird download speed issues and lag when streaming all week. I pay for the premium service, so it's really frustrating because I do all my work from home. You can reach me at 763. Oh God, I can't tell. You can call back at this number or look up my information. It's Adam Olinger. Sorry, I'm trying to stream right now. I don't want to give out my number to everybody watching. Goodbye. All right. Message received. That was almost a bad situation I got myself into. I don't know how bad this stream is lag-wise. Maybe, you know what? If it's really bad, maybe what I'll do is I'll pre-record this and then I'll just upload it. I don't want it to be a miserable experience for everybody. And if it's really bad, we can just move on and I'll get some sleep and I'll just record this ahead of time and put it out like it is a live stream. I do see we got 2 super chats in out of courtesy. Kyle Nelson, shot out of a cannon with $2, says, my favorite series is the Faces of Death series. Wow. Thank you for that, Kyle. Those are terrible. If it's what I'm thinking it is, maybe it's not. Actually, I don't even know if I know this. This is not what I was thinking it was. So I don't know what that is. What an obscure reference. Thank you, Kyle, for that. Daniel Fa became a member for 1 month. Adam's haircut looks great and Divergent stinks. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. You're right on both accounts. It's fine. Audio is good. So there's just a bunch of lag. Here's what we're going to do. Because I know it's trash and you're being nice, I'm going to fly through this like an eagle into the sea. We're going to get through it lickety split, as they say in 1950. And then I will do another version of this so that I can put it up on the podcast and we can have a much better go at it. All right, let's get through it. So I have Divergent at number 10. It's terrible. It's trash. It's not worth talking about any further. At number 9, it's Madame Web herself, the 50 Shades of Grey series. The Shades franchise is almost as embarrassing as the Twilight franchise. I'd say it's more so, but there's only 3 of them. There's only 3 movies. I saw the first one. The chemistry is not existent between these two. The sex scenes are not appealing in the slightest. I don't know. It was basically made for soccer moms, I think, and the people that are really into those Stanley Cups. I think that's the target audience for 50 Shades of Grey, Stanley Cup collectors. And if you're one of them and you don't like 50 Shades, consider yourself in the minority, because this just feels right for me. This feels like this is the audience that they're going after. Terrible trilogy. Thankfully, it's gone and forgotten. I don't know a single person that ever references these films anymore. They seem like a time that the world forgot, and I'm okay with that. Let's go on to the number 8 spot. This is just embarrassing. Fantastic Beasts and Where Not to Find Them at the theaters. This is much like Divergent, another failed attempt to get a new franchise off the ground. This is so much more embarrassing, though, because this is from J.K. Rowling. This is from Warner Brothers. This is from David Yates. This is from a lot of the same people that worked on the Harry Potter movies, and they could not make people give even one shit about it. The first movie with Newt Scamander was serviceable, passable, but rough. I remember watching it, being very lenient and very fair with that review, almost to a fault. I said, okay, not great, not a great first showing, but there's potential here. Maybe if Newt Scamander is not so much of the main protagonist and we can kind of, go a different route. I thought Colin Farrell was a great villain, and then they turned him into Johnny Depp for some reason at the end. And by the third movie, he's transformed again, but this time there's no mention of it. He just changes his look because there was a bunch of offset shenanigans going on in court hearings, and Warner Brothers got scared and they replaced the actor with Mads Mikkelsen or some shit. These movies are terrible. Like, they're really not good. The plot makes no sense. It's convoluted. They tried to shoehorn in Harry Potter characters and little references and nods. The only good thing that came out this entire series was Niffler, the cute little platypus thing that steals treasure. That's the only good thing that came out of this. And the worst part is Epic Universe is slated to come out in 2025. That's the new Universal Studios theme park, their 4th theme park, 3rd if you don't count the water park. And it's going to have the Ministry of Magic, but there is going to be, I think, a pretty heavy, or at least halfway emphasis on the Fantastic Beasts movies. Most likely because they had this planned out like a decade ago. These theme parks don't sprout up overnight. And so, yeah, they were probably all in on Fantastic Beasts. Not good. Let's move on to the 7 spot. Oh, God. We're into the 4 territory. It's only going to go up from here and also down from here at the same time. Stay out of the water after the first movie. Jaws is a classic. It's iconic. It's a brilliant film. It withstands the test of time, I think, because I love it. And so therefore, that's all that matters. This is a movie that single-handedly got people to not go in their pools because they were afraid a shark was going to somehow manifest out of nothing. I was scared shitless of the ocean and the water because of Steven Spielberg and the job he did on this thing. Jaws is so freaking great. Jaws 2. it's so dumb. It's basically the same plot as the first one, but everything is just stupider. Like everything is dumber. Even the catchphrase at the end, he's like, "Open up, say ah," instead of "Smile, you son of a bitch." They even still kind of went with the mouth thing, but flubbed it. The third one's in 3D. It's a total gimmick. The 3D is garbage, and it only shows up 2 or 3 times in the film. There's nothing else there. It's at a fictitious SeaWorld location. And then Jaws the Revenge is so freaking awful. It focuses on the Brody wife. Jaws is out for revenge somehow, even though multiple great white sharks have been killed in all the films. So who's out for revenge? Is it a baby of the mom? It doesn't make any sense. It somehow swims across most of the ocean at one point to follow them. Horrible movie. Michael Caine's in there just for a paycheck for a week. I actually roasted this film on my channel. It's one of my favorite movie roasts, so check that out if you have some time. Again, I apologize for the lag if it's still happening. There's nothing I can do. My internet provider's garbage. Kyle Nelson's back with the $2 super chat. Airbud is a good series of movies too. Kyle, I get what you're doing here. Kyle, Airbud, yeah, they made a litter of those films. And there was also the Buddies films, the Air Buddies, which was the spinoff of the little puppy versions. I know there's a Christmas Buddies. There's probably a basketball Buddies or a sports Buddies of some sorts. My kids have seen a couple of them. I've watched in passing. They're terrible. Atrocious films. Those didn't make the list, but they definitely have a place. I kind of veered away from the kids stuff. I don't think we have 3 Boss Baby movies yet. Otherwise, that would maybe Baby Geniuses was awful, but I think there's only 2 of those. Regardless, yeah, good pick. Air Bud for sure. Kind of a Criterion pick. Oh, God. Okay. In the number, what are we at? 10, 9, 5 spot? Or no, 6. 10, 9, 8, 7, yeah, 6. The 6th spot, we have the 5 critically acclaimed Twilight films. The Twilight franchise, how do I put this eloquently? Sucks because of vampires. Subscribe for the puns. And subscribe because I don't like this. Twilight, I did also roast the first one. I really enjoyed that one as well. So feel free to check out the Twilight. Just watch the roasts. Nobody watched them. Watch the roast. More people should watch. You want to talk about two actors that actually can be very good if given the right material. We have Batman playing a literal Batman in this. Well, not quite, because Twilight's version of vampires is to not make them vampires. They don't turn into bats, I don't believe, at least not in the first one. They don't burn up in the sunlight. Instead, they sparkle. They don't like live in coffins. It's like, I can't even think of a thing that they have in common with vampires outside of the fangs and occasionally needing to feed on people. But it's really focused on this love story between these two characters that have zero chemistry together. It's almost remarkable. It's almost impressive how little chemistry these two actors have. Bella Swan and I don't remember the guy's name. What's the guy's name? It's Bella and Edward Cullen. Yes, of course. Bella and Edward. Good old Romeo and Juliet storyline there. And this is really this one's so egregious because 50 Shades was inspired by this. From what I read, 50 Shades originally started out as a Twilight fanfic that they then spun into its own thing. Twilight continues to just kind of touch all different orifices around the world, and we're all the worse for it. All right, in the 5 spot. Oh, I'll be back, he said 6 times. And he was, to be fair, he was back 6 times. What we're dealing with here are 2 really great movies with Terminator 1 and 2, and then just a whole pile of shit. I know some people that unironically like Terminator 3. That movie's garbage. It's not good. Watchable, sure. Sure. In the same way that Terminator Dark Fate is watchable. Meaning, I can watch them and enjoy them from a superficial standpoint. I think they're both they're both crap when you compare them to the first two movies. But if you kind of take them for their own thing, they don't bother me. They're fine. They're harmless, but they shouldn't be watched by anyone. Just go 1 and 2 and then stop. Terminator Genesis it's unwatchable. It's such a mess. They recast Sarah Connor with the Emilia Clarke, who is terrible as a Sarah Connor. Terminator Salvation tried to do this dirty, gritty Call of Duty-esque film with Christian Bale. It's miserable to watch. And the plot makes no sense. There is a massive plot hole in this where they actually capture John Reeves at one point and put him in the prison instead of, putting a bullet in his head, because John Reeves will give, I'm sorry, not John. Kyle Reese? It's Kyle something. Whatever the fuck. It's John Connor's dad. Kyle Reese. Is that right? Let me look it up. John Connor's dad. Yeah, it is Kyle Reese. Nailed it. I was so confident that I had to Google it. They have Kyle Reese captured in prison. All they have to do is kill him, and then John doesn't exist anymore. It was so dumb. Anyway, terrible. The Terminator franchise, I guess, to be fair, out of all the other ones on this list, manages to have at least 2 really good movies, which is more than I can say for anything else here. And that leads us to number 4 on the list. Dun, 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 dun. What I've done. Linkin Park. Let's fictitiously pour one out for Chester. I have a Sprite. One of the best things about the Transformers movies, the Linkin Park songs that accompany them. I love Transformers 1. I like it. Michael Bay can get me sometimes. He can get me. It's a fun movie. It's everything I wanted. Giant, larger than life Transformers duking it out on the big screen. You don't understand what the hell's going on. It's just a bunch of CG smashing together, but it looks damn good. I really did enjoy the point of view from the humans. So everything is just massive in scale and you don't know what the fuck's going on. I thought it was epic. I thought it was highly produced. It just had a good run. And Megan Fox leaning over a car, that's an easy win for me. And I think I heard that she was 15 at the time. And so that makes me feel gross. But you know what? When I watched the movie, I was around 16 or 17. So whatever. Still not cool, Michael Bay. But that's kind of what he does. In Transformers, I think it's 4, he very much over-sexualized the daughter in that one too. And at that time, she was, I think, 14 or 15. Pretty amazing man we have here with Michael Bay. These movies just get worse and worse and worse until Bumblebee, which kind of brings it back, calms it down. It doesn't turn the planet into a fucking transformer itself during the Knights of the Old Republic or some crap like King Arthur. There's King Arthur Transformers or something. It's so stupid. They retcon these with every movie. I think in the second one, The Dark of the Moon or whatever, it turns out there was Decepticons or Autobots or something hiding on the moon the whole time, and the government knew about them. And then by the 4th or 5th one, there's freaking dinosaurs that have been living on the planet. And then there's the King Arthur stuff. It's such a shit show. My son Connor, who's 11, he ate the first one up. He was still eating well with the sequel, understanding that it's much worse than the first. And then once Megan Fox was gone, he was a little annoyed by that. But then when Sam Witwicky was gone, when Shia was taken out by the 4th, he was done. My son Connor was out. He's like, no Sam Witwicky, no fucking interest. And he bounced. And I respect him for that. He has still not seen the new one, which these are dumb ranking things that I found. It's this one, something of the Beast. I don't remember. Rise of the Beast, Army of the Beast, War, who cares? That one was very mediocre, I thought as well. It's just a shitty franchise. It's just a mess. It's a messy franchise. I would put the Monsterverse on here with Godzilla and Kong, but there's not enough of them yet. And I think that some of them are pretty good. I really like Kong Skull Island. I thought that was an awesome movie. One of the Godzilla movies is okay. King of the Monsters, that one's pretty decent. I did not like Kong v Godzilla at all. Thought it was really dumb. Past the point of no return dumb. And then this new one's looking about the same, if not worse. But we'll see. Maybe that would be on an updated version of this in the future. They also got rid of Linkin Park. And that was just a bridge too far for me. Once you got rid of Park, I was out. I said, no, you got to get him back. Get Chester back. Get Mike Shinoda in here. Oh, this is a franchise like no other. We have one more super chat. Let me read it quick. From Big Kahuna for $2. Dude, wow. I loved Genesis. My wife even cried. What? Cried at what? Cried at how bad it was? I don't understand. Was it sad? I only saw it once in theaters, and I just remember thinking what a disaster it was. Did Arnie's character die for the 14th time in that one? I can't remember. I know there's a cave at some point, and there's 2 different versions of the Terminator. Whatever, Big Kahuna. That's fine. I'm glad you guys liked it. I'm glad your wife likes it. Did you say your wife or your mom? That'd be awkward. Your wife. Okay. I'm glad you guys liked it. I didn't care about it at all. Oh, what do we have here? Oh God. In the number 3 spot. We're now at the point where I'm utterly confused. I'm dumbfounded at how they managed to get 6 of these films made. The Resident Evil films are they're bottom of the barrel to me bad. Mila Jovovich, and I believe her husband is the director, took us on a ride. The first one is all right. The first one I think is kind of cool. It's really weird. It's bizarre, but so are the video games, and those storylines are asinine. They're complete jokes. But by the time we're at the 4th or 5th, I didn't see them. I'm out. I saw some clips from, I don't know which one it was. I think it was Afterlife or Retribution. I truly don't know, but she's in an all white room, and there's this horrible Kmart level bullet time going on, and there's slow-mo speed ups. It's just fucking hilarious how bad it looks. These movies are huge. Maybe they're tax write-offs. I just don't get how the audience is so big for these films. They don't make any sense. They don't look all that great. The action is so over the top and comically bad. It's kind of like Aeon Flux, if you remember that terrible film with Charlize Theron. Amazingly bad movie. I don't get it. This one hurts to put on here, but it has to be. We have, as of right now, 6 Jurassic Park movies. One of them is good. There will be debate. There will be lively discussion about the quality of Lost World. I'm on the side that does not like it. Yes, there is occasionally brilliance. That RV sequence, that 20, 30-minute sequence where they're hanging over the edge of the RVs with the 2 T-Rexes is utterly great. I won't deny that. It's fantastic. The reason for its existence, though, is utterly terrible. Oh, there's a hurt baby T-Rex on this second island. Let's bring him into the RV and work on him, says Vince Vaughn, who's so out of place in this and absolutely unlikable as a character. Julianne Moore, let's take photos of the giant dinosaurs when we're a foot away from them. Unlikable. And that's really the problem as these Jurassic Park movies go on. In the first film, you had Alan Grant, you had the 2 kids, you had Malcolm, and they're all just really likable, real people. You know, they all have their quirks and their professions, but they felt grounded and real. And then you go to Lost World, and they're just characterally stupid. They just go out of their way to do dumb things. Where's Ellie Sadler when you need her? Oh, she's back in 3 on the phone. So then we go to Jurassic Park 3, which is also just as dumb, arguably worse than 2. It is worse. I like it more because it's done in like an hour and a half. The movie is so short. It is so rushed and slapped together because they basically had to rush and slap it together after the first initial batch of ideas fell to pieces Animatronics were breaking. The script was constantly being rewritten on the fly. Think Alien 3 levels of production going on here. Think X-Men 3 levels of production going on here. Just a mess. And then you also have the timeless Alan from the Raptor, if you remember that gem of a scene. Overall, though, a pretty shitty trilogy. Watchable, sure, because I like dinosaurs and I'll watch them. But then we get to Jurassic World. It does the Star Wars reboot thing, the prequel. I'm sorry, not the prequel. It does the Star Wars requel, where it's a new trilogy, but it basically is just a new hope again for A Force Awakens. Jurassic World is that for Jurassic Park. Oh, the park's open now. Chaos takes place. They reference the first movie a bunch. Owen is the main character. He's likable, but he's completely NPC generic, played by Chris Pratt. It's better. It's better for me than the previous two entries. But man, does it fall apart real fast after that. When they have to try to go out on their own again, there's just nowhere but down. You have Fallen Kingdom, aka Fallen Franchise, much like The Last Jedi for me. This essentially just destroys all the goodwill that Lost World had going in, which really kind of, it really kind of makes you reflect on these whole requel things to begin with when they do these quasi sequels, but they're basically reboots. It really goes to show that when they take something that worked and they just kind of redo it again, once they have to set out to make something brand new, they're at a loss. They're at a wall because they didn't make any characters that actually can stand on their own or have their own personalities or their own baggage or interesting storylines. And so they just hit a wall and they have to once again kind of go back to the well of the old movies, pull in things that worked from there, like getting the dinosaurs rescued off the island and the evil hunters capturing them and selling them. It was all done in the Lost World. And Fallen Kingdom is just so many levels of stupid, from the logic of creating a killer dinosaur, but in order to command it, you have to point a gun at the target. Why even use the dinosaur? Just shoot the target with the gun in your hand. It's so stupid. And then this last one is so long. It's like 3 hours long. They pull in everybody from the original movie. Some reason it's not about dinosaurs. It's about locusts. It's all over the place. 14 different plots. None of them are interesting. This whole franchise is a shit show, and they're still going with it. They just announced another Jurassic World that's probably going to be part of a new trilogy. I hate it. And the number one, which is on the thumbnail, so it should be no shock, and it should probably be number one on everybody's list. Fast and the Furious. We, folks, have 10 mainline movies and a spin-off, Hobbs and Shaw, which will probably get a sequel at some point. And we also have that awful Universal Studios ride, Fast and the Furious Supercharged, which features almost all the actors. Because these people make so much money. Vin Diesel, this will be depressing to a lot of you. It is to me. Vin Diesel is one of the top 10 Hollywood earners right now for Fast and the Furious and saying, I am Groot. This guy's played the game so damn well. He's basically the Joe Rogan of film. It's the Joe Rogan of cinema. It's amazing how this meat-headed guy signed such a sweetheart deal that he never really has to put in much effort at all. He just has to hang out with his buddies, get in the backyard, have a couple Coronas, jump in a muscle car, and just save the day all over again. I was never big on Fast and the Furious. In fact, I never liked it. I thought the first one was dumb. And after watching, what did I just watch? I was going so well, and now I completely froze on Point Break. Yeah, I just watched Point Break like a month ago. It's the same movie. Fast and the Furious just ripped off the plot from Point Break, but made it way dumber. The original, though, has a nice place in people's hearts. So it really boggles my mind how street car racers or car enthusiasts are still on board with this franchise when they moved away from street racing after about 4 films. Now it's about global espionage, domination, takeover. jumping off of buildings onto fast-moving trains, then falling into a boat, and then getting picked up by a helicopter. It all explodes. Nothing makes sense. I just, they're so silly. They're so cartoonish. The only thing really missing is Bugs Bunny popping out of a hole once in a while and saying, "What's up, Doc?" I can't get over how fucking dumb these movies are, and they continue to exist, and not only exist but thrive. Although I heard the last one didn't do as well as they were hoping because it costs like 500 or 600 or 700 million to make it. Insanely high budget. I suppose because when you got to pay Vin Diesel 40 or 50 million plus he gets money off the back end. What's Luda making on these things? What's Ludacris at right now on a Fast and a Furious? What's he pulling down? Holy crap. 10 movies. And there's more on the way. We have Fast 11, Fast X2, or whatever they're going to call it. They'll come up with some dumb naming. I just can't get over this franchise and how it's really the Police Academy of modern era, but there's no attempt at humor. It's like a sad, funny clown to me. All right, those are my picks. What do you guys got? You have anything for me? I again apologize for the stream being such low quality garbage. Really is the Fast and Furious of YouTube streams right now. I can't do anything about it. My internet provider is being trash. I should have pulled the trigger on it sooner and called them because I've been having upload issues all week. And I didn't realize the stream was even bad last week until I went back and tried watching it just to see if I could salvage it for the podcast. But no, there's nothing that can be done. All right, we do have a couple super chats. Let's get them in. Not Big Kahuna. Daniel Fa for $2. Thank you, Daniel. Says, Fast and Furious, so good, bro. So good. It's about family. No, it's about family, he says. Daniel, you're absolutely right. It is so good, bro. We should really keep that meme going this year. If you don't remember, in 2023, the Meg 2 Trench came out, and I did not like it. And I voiced my opinion on TikTok, and the kids were not happy with me. Hundreds of thousands of views, and the comments are just stellar. Bro, it's so good. Bro, it's good. It's good, bro. Bro, it's good. Bro, it's so good, bro. Bro, nonstop. Hundreds of the same comment over and over from different users, different real people that I guess just can't read what the others wrote, or they have no original thoughts in their brains. But to be fair, they're Meg 2 fans. So when in Rome, when in the trench. We got one more from Big Kahuna for $5. Thank you, Big Kahuna. All right, that's it. We're through. Love me some Fast and Furious. It's all about family, bro. Get a clue, man. It's cool. I'll probably get over it. Keeps the bros alive, though. He keeps that bro going, which I appreciate. Oh, man. Oh, man. You know what? I just realized I should check to see if anybody signed up on TikTok since I said something. Let's see if anybody actually jumped on TikTok since I said anything. No. I don't see a single new follower. I said I'm on fucking TikTok. I'm making exclusive shorts over there, or talks, or ticks, and I don't see any new signups. So I guess we just don't want to see Adam trying to be funny, and that's fine. You do you. It's your life, bro. It's your life. You're the main character. I'm a side NPC. Okay, I'm going to let this end. Maybe I will film a top 10 tomorrow that's a little bit more coherent, a little less laggy. I don't know how much I'm glitching around, but it's probably bad. So thank you guys for watching. Oh, wait, I never give you enough time. Let me give you a minute for final super chats. If you have a super chat, throw it at me. If you have a movie franchise that you hate that I didn't mention that needs to be dogpiled on, let me know, or forever hold your peace. I should point out while I wait, patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. There's a $1 tier. There's a $10 tier. There's a $30 tier. It goes up to 100 over there. And let me tell you, things are popping off. All right. I have dedicated myself to one new vlog a month if you are at the $10 membership level. One vlog of me just kind of roaming the world. You get to see inside my life. If you are at the $20 membership, you get 2 vlogs a month. You see where I'm going with this? If you're at the Mithril membership for $30, you get 3 vlogs a month. And if you're at the Unobtainium, yeah, that's 4. That's 4 fucking vlogs a month. That's 1 a week. And I'm going to be at MegaCon, so you better believe I'm going to be doing all sorts of crazy stuff. I'm going to be taking a lot of footage over there. I'm going to be editing. I'm going to be splicing. I'm going to be interconnecting, and other words that I'm making up on the fly because this is live, and I tend to ramble when I'm live and not edited. And so that's just how it is. Patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies, or a YouTube Join membership works too. Although you don't get the perk of the vlogs. I got to figure that out. I'll try to get you those too. I'll try to figure that out. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else that's pertinent, that's important enough for me to keep going. So I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys for watching. Again, blame my internet, not me. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Thank you for checking it out. Leave a comment, like the video, support the channel, do what you can. Let's have a great new year.